Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about the process of manifestation and the Stoic principle of apatheia, which is essentially non-reactivity or not allowing emotion take over. For me, oftentimes in my channel, I will say something to the effect of simply imagine the end and let it go and watch the universe systematically and perfectly orchestrate itself to give you your end. But then reality hits and we are all human beings, and I myself am not perfect. I have had a lot of trouble in the past controlling my mind. And so to say that I simply and easily have been able to perfectly craft this reality with the blink of an eye without having any resistance, any fears, any doubts, insecurities, or things of that nature would be just a lie. And I think for those of you who are struggling with the ability to control your mind, to drop it, to let go, to not be overrun with fear and doubt and insecurity, well, this video will help you to utilize the principles that I have utilized to help me shape and craft this reality and even manifest this house. Before we begin, hit the like button. It does something to the algorithm so that those who wouldn't normally be able to watch this video will be able to watch it. Also, hit the subscribe button to join on the goal to hit 100,000 subscribers, which we are almost there. Hit the bell icon if you want to stay tuned for more systematic, broken down methods on how to manifest your life in a predictable way without hoping but knowing. And we have a podcast, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok, and so stay with me, follow me, hit up the email list, do all this stuff, and follow me. Also, I'll be traveling soon and doing collaborations, which you will see is going to be awesome. So stay tuned, follow, whatever you have to do just to be along this journey and learn how to manifest your reality in a predictable, no nonsense, no joke, no BS way. So jumping into it then, apatheia. Greek word. And this is a Stoic principle that refers to not allowing your emotions take over. So Stoicism lately you may have heard of that term before, that word, that phrase, and often it gives an idea of no feeling or stone cold or not reacting to something, really just not showing emotion. But Stoicism is a philosophy and people dedicated their entire lives to it. I think with manifestation, it fits so perfectly, and yet it's not spoken about with really from anybody. It's something that I in my own time started reading and researching with Marcus Aurelius and his meditations, but ultimately began to implement it into my life when I realized that, say, the scripture itself is really beautiful at teaching you how to manifest, but what about your dealing with your mind? What about controlling your thoughts? What about non-reactivity? What about objectivity? What about having peace and confidence and virtue and courage and these things that aren't necessarily essential for a person to manifest their desires? For me, this was a huge missing piece. And I had to learn how to hone in and reel in my mind as a center and go back to the center and relax and calm down so that I could control my mind enough to create reality as I wanted without creating a bunch of crazy stuff in the middle. So apatheia is a concept that I look at as being detached from the external world. In Stoicism, it's all about controlling one's self. It's not that I blame you, you are making me react. No, it's what's wrong with me that is causing this reaction to what you're saying. If we can master our ability to objectively look at situations and break them down and perceive them in a different way, we'll be able to manifest at such an easier and faster rate. So apatheia in this regard is referring to, at least as in the way that I'm teaching it with manifesting right now, it goes hand in hand with imagining the end and then not reacting to situations outside. So reacting in situations in the external world, first of all, we're creating every single situation outside. We may not realize it, we may not have done it on purpose. In fact, the majority of this world, probably 99.999% of it is created subconsciously by us. We will have zero idea or indication as to what we've created or how we've created it. However, there's always a 1-to-1 ratio between this thing we're experiencing and the inception point, which is in our mind. And so knowing that in and of itself makes it a lot easier. Some of us might not be able to take that. Like, how did I create this thing in my life? Or, I'm not imagining that. How could I be creating that? But in truth, when you continuously begin to analyze and look at your reality, it is true. And so since that is true, it gives us all the power. If you want to point your fingers and say, it's because of my brother I am insecure, or it's because of my girlfriend that I turned into a cheater, or it's because of my dad that this or that, well, then you literally actually are giving them the power to control your reality. But when you say, okay, I may have some responsibility here, I may have some conclusion or blueprint or assumption or fear or doubt that exists within the subconscious, I may be entertaining such thoughts that are forcing this reality to stay in that manner. So that is one way to objectively observe reality, to take away the helplessness and fear that we are not in control. Now, but when it comes to imagining the end and then waiting for our manifestation to come, we're supposed to have an air of neutrality, an air of yielding, an air of confidence. Now, it's not necessarily so that we're supposed to have this full-blown knowing that something's going to happen. Like, in truth, that would be delusional. And delusional is not manifesting. Manifestation is essentially imagining the end with the intensity and realistic ability to observe this reality in our imagination to the degree to which it is perfectly realistic. And after that, we let go. Upon shaping that seed, which is what's happening when we're imagining, we craft it, and the DNA of that seed consists entirely of the scene that we imagine. Nothing else, nothing further, or nothing beforehand. And upon imagining that thing, what we have to do after, which is commonly mistaught, oftentimes people will say, oh, just keep doing that continuously, never let go. The problem with that is we never stop conditioning the seed. We're conditioning it, we're molding it, we're shaping it, we're the potter, right? We are crafting this thing in the likeness of our mind. And then we must let go and detach from the circumstances. To the degree to which we can detach is to that same degree will we be able to allow this thing to create without our interference. And so what happens when we're in a situation, when we want to manifest a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and we are specifically visualizing ourselves ending up with this person, but then we're witnessing them doing something else other than what we want. Fear, insecurity, jealousy, rage, helplessness, hopelessness, whatever, all of it. All of those things have the capability of entering into the mind and therefore imagining these horrible things. And imagining these horrible things, if we continuously fixate on it, if we clear-cut visualize these horrible things, if we do not control our mind, right, or if we repress it and we just switch these thoughts continuously without looking at them, well, then we are going to be in for a rough ride. Now, that's not to say that we won't manifest our end, but we will probably manifest a ton of a horrific bridge of incidences, which I've done my whole life until I learned how to control my mind, how to detach from it. So some of the tools to detach are those that I use now that help me to have a smoother ride. You can, in essence, control the bridge of incidents by allowing yourself to let go. So how do you let go? How do you use this Stoic principle that I'm talking about here? It's looking at, in this way that I'm talking about, it's looking at it in a different way. It's looking at circumstances and realizing, for instance, if you are manifesting a specific person and they are still entertaining a relationship with another person, or they are not talking with you right now, they haven't texted you, they blocked you, whatever the case is, you in your mind have the power to do two things. You can either freak out and continuously create more horrific things because of your inability to think clearly, or you can put your foot down and say, what is happening here, right? What is happening here? I am the creator of this reality, so whatever's happening is only as a result of me. I have put it in this situation it is in right now. I may not have meant to do it, but I've done it. And since I've done it, I can continue to do it again. I can do it again. I can imagine something differently. I can shape this the way that I want. So, in this case, looking at it and saying, this doesn't matter. It's not being delusional. It's not pretending continuously that you're still with this person when you're not in physical reality. That's delusional and it's fake. It's not the pretending in physical reality that gets us our end. It's the actively utilizing our imagination and impressing this thing in the subconscious and then letting go and then carrying on. That's what gets it. So there's that difference. There's a discrepancy between teachings that talk about continuously maintaining in the state. There's a problem there because there's always going to be a discrepancy between that moment right now where I'm married to this person. Well, they're dating someone else. So what's going to happen? You're going to freak out. So realizing this state is temporary, just as it was before, just as it will be after. I simply have to fill my mind in a temporary way with an imaginal act, right? In scripture it says, paraphrase, that we are to fill our mind with the image that we want, allow it to saturate our mind, and then our consciousness, which sees our thoughts, will reward us openly, will manifest this thing in the external world. With that said, our goal then, in that case, is simply to temporarily imagine that end and then let go, and the rest happens on its own. And the rest of the time is working on observing reality and showing how it doesn't matter. The rest of it doesn't matter. It's all in the middle. None of that matters. You have placed it in this position now. Your beliefs have created the way that it is now. You've changed things before. You're changing things all the time. Watch what happens when you shift your reality, and watch what happens when you, shift your thoughts and watch how your reality changes. So if you change 10% of your thoughts, you change 10% of reality, roundabout. Not in the exact order, or you can't really know exactly when that's going to happen. But in other words, these are the types of things you need to do to realize that this is all your creation. You're not just creating one piece and not the other. Yes, you might want something right now. You might not have it in your hands, but in your imagination, you've already set it. Now it's time to let it go. So, point is, imagine the end and then realize that the whole thing is your creation. Although there's a discrepancy, you have enough evidence to reflect back on to realize that you've created this whole thing. Think of the thoughts that you used to think that created the reality that you're in now. Think of the feelings that you used to feel that created the reality you're in now. What I do is I keep track of all of my manifestations to a realistic degree. Now there's so many of them. The smaller ones I don't necessarily do, but I had a safe in San Diego before I moved. Filled with I don't know if you can see that. It's probably 3-4 foot of all manifestations, because I can look at it and it'll snap me right out of the fear-based ideologies that a human being has, and it will bring me more down to earth, and I'll realize the power that I have. And so the key is to objectively look at reality. If you're reacting to reality, there's a problem. You have to revert back into the core of yourself, your true self, your I am, right? You have to be true to your nature, your true self, that state of who you are, and you will get anything that you want. But if you still identify with the human point of view, the point of view where you're helpless, where you can't control another person, where you're reacting because they're still with this person, well, then you're not really doing the deal. You're not really doing the deal. So the point is, to the best of your ability, imagine the end and objectively reason yourself to realize why you are in control is one of the greatest tools that I have used, or break things down into the sum of their parts. But ultimately the point is when you do this is when you will have the power. So I want to just stop there for now. I have so many more videos on these topics that have helped me to master manifestation that I haven't talked about before, right? Which I know for a fact you can utilize now and master this yourself as well. So if you liked it, hit the subscribe button. Let's get 100K. Hit the like button. Let that algorithm take hold and spin me to see the whole world, or the whole world to see me. Hit the bell icon if you want more systematic, broken down methods on how to manifest what you want. Hit up that podcast, hit up my TikTok, hit up my Instagram, hit up the email list. And there's probably a whole lot of other stuff. I'm traveling soon. You're going to have to follow along with me. I've got a collab coming up. You will see. It's going to be a surprise for you. Got some cool stuff happening. So make sure you follow along if you want to be the first to be in the know. Also, imaginal scenes are epic. People have been manifesting like insane from them. They have been listening and boom, manifestations have been fulfilled. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my previous videos or just listen to me now. I am creating imaginal scenes for people and narrating them so that people are able to get their perfectly crafted, meticulously created imaginal acts so that you can manifest what you want. And I'll stop it there. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Happy holidays. Peace.